Good morning, saints of the Most High Elohim. This is Peter Michael Martinez, and thank you for joining us here at Remnant House, the home of the strong and the very courageous. And I say to all of my beloved brethren of the Most High Elohim now living on the earth, in this time of great turmoil in the nations, let us all hear his voice clearly. This message is for the captains in the King's holy army. As prophesied, we see men coming under great strain, and lies are being exposed in our society at a level never before seen upon the earth. So where are we now? What is coming soon? And how can we prepare? You can all see the world as you once knew it slowly disintegrating. While it may not be completely visible to all at the moment, it soon will be. Those who have been given wisdom to know what is to come have already made their plans. Many of you have received dreams, visions, and even urgent words of warning by the Holy Spirit, meant to awaken and instruct the body of Messiah for the days ahead. This is the time we have all been warned would come. Those who have taken such warnings seriously have made and will continue to make preparations while there is time. Others will wait until there is no time, and only then will they realize that preparations for the coming of the King needed to be made. So where are the captains? This call is for the captains of tens, the captains of fifties, the captains of hundreds, and the captains of thousands, the wise and noble-hearted, who are not deceived by the schemes and cunning of the beast and her false prophets. You are called upon in this hour. So let me be clear with you, my beloved. This is the time that we must come out of her. Many of you have assignments where you are. You have businesses, you have real estate, you have many entanglements in this present world that will hold you in place. Some of you need to move. For many, the entanglements of this world, like the inhabitants of Sodom and Gomorrah, shall take them to the pit. Many years ago, the King of all glory called upon me to sell all that I had for a holy mission on behalf of his people. This he requires of all the royal priesthood, who shall walk in the holy fire of the last days. As many of you who will hear this know, in 2015 a time of great crisis arrived upon the earth. There was much wickedness and evil that had been planned to enslave so many and to bring terror and destruction to the redeemed. Were it not for a remnant in the earth that continued steadfast to intercede, this nation would not be here today as you see it. Nevertheless, he called upon his people, and a remnant heard his call. As many of you who are part of Remnant House know well, he called me to go first to the One World Center in New York City to prophesy over those who have stolen the wealth of the nations and would seek to enslave all of mankind, and then to the National Mall in Washington, D.C., to speak to the powers of Egypt and the works of evil that sought to extend their grip upon the earth, and finally, Jerusalem in the fall of 2015, that I may come and petition the Most High Elohim, the Most High of Israel, to save my mountain. At that time the beast and all that work evil in your world had struck their agreements in secret to put the beloved in bonds in the earth. Yet the Most High Elohim, seeing this evil they had done and sought to do in this nation and upon the earth, raised up the standard of prayer against them. While they declared their plans and made their proclamations, He sanctified me and others by his own Spirit in obedience to his word in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach to stand in the gap for the nations. We were set apart for this holy mission. All we had here in the USA was sold or given away, that we would have no entanglements here, but only love for you all, for our families. This was an extremely difficult thing to do, and few could do it. This is the measure of our resolve for the sake of our brethren, for the children. As our King taught us, no greater love has a man than he laid down his life for his friends. He sanctified me for this task, and I had nothing on earth to call my own but clean hands and a pure heart. On the day appointed, I was sent at sundown to blow the trumpet on the Mount of Olives in petition to the Most High Elohim for the Jubilee promised to his people. Let the captivity of his people be at an end. Our petition was heard in the court of the King of all glory, where my name is written. He then spoke to me to come up to Galilee, where he said, "There is something I want to show you." It was there, under the unscheduled blood moons, that Remnant House was born and came forth on the Sea of Galilee. At that time, he gave me a word concerning what would come to America, some of which I have shared with you all, some of which I am not at liberty to divulge. Let it be known that this time that comes will be unlike any other time in Earth's history. There is much more that I would love to share with you all, but most could not bear it. Those of you who know what time it is, you are being activated. The King has directed me by his own Spirit to speak to you all about the need for places of safety for the time to come. Few will heed the warning until it's too late. Those who are called to be captains in this hour to come will hear this call and respond, for it is your destiny to hear it. What is asked of you is precisely what Messiah asked of the rich young ruler, and what he asked of me. Let it all go and follow me, he said. Only a few can abide in this holy place he calls his captains to stand. Some of you are called to activate the vision. He, the King of all glory, has given you favor and grace with material wealth for the purpose of establishing his covenant upon the earth. We require a considerable sum to activate what he has given us to do. The place we go to establish is set apart and holy for the purpose of delivering his people to him. This may be done by one person who has the means, or it may take all hands on deck. But the vision will come to pass. The question is only who will answer the call, and whom will Yahuwah use for this holy task. So I come before you, as Moses did before the children of Israel, not to require anything of you, but to put before you this opportunity that shall not come again. In Exodus 35 and verse 10 he says, "And every wise-hearted among you shall come, and make all that Yahuwah hath commanded." This will not be easy. If you are one chosen to activate this vision, you will have a fight on your hands to do so. If you are called to stand with the remnant in this hour, do not expect that such a decision will be celebrated by all. You may find those even close to you, as Lot found out about his wife. They're just not going where you are going. As he told you and warned you, 2 will be in a bed, 1 taken, 1 left. This is to warn you that this time to come will be one of terrible sorrow of heart for many who do not heed the warnings and counsel of Yahuwah Elohim and the messengers he sends to help you. You are all already having many dreams and visions. You may have pieces of the vision and parts of his plan, but alone no matter how much wealth you have amassed, you will not endure as the united will. So many are holding on to places and things that will end up being to their own destruction. What we have to do requires great courage. It is not something that he can ask of millions to do, or even thousands. He's not looking for great throngs of people in this hour of preparation, but instead, the king calls his mighty men. His mighty men of valor who stand together as his anointed to execute his will and bring forth his purpose for his people. For those who love the king and can hear his voice, you know that he is doing a new thing in the earth that many did not see coming. Now is the time of courage. Now is the time we remember the words Yahuwah spoke to the people of Israel. Be strong and of good courage, for unto this people shalt thou divide for an inheritance the land, which I swear unto their fathers to give them. Only be thou strong and very courageous, that thou mayest observe to do all the law, which Moses my servant commanded thee. Turn not from it to the right hand or the left, that thou mayest prosper whithersoever thou goest. This book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night, that thou mayest observe to do all according to all that is written therein. For then thou shalt make thy way prosperous, and then thou shalt have good success. So it is in this time. We must prepare also to be a people who will inherit the land. We inherit the promises. We inherit the earth. Now is the time we must be a people of great courage to do his will with intention. I call that activation. When you do the will of Yahuwah Elohim despite opposition, you know that if you answer his call, all manner of voices will raise against you to try and keep you from this purpose. This is why no one but his spirit can compel you to go. I know. I've walked this road, and I know what it's going to cost you. We do not do what we do for any wealth upon the earth. Our treasure is in heaven, and our King brings it with him. You know this, and for this reason you can do what few others can do. Answer this call. This is what makes captains. This is what he is calling for now. Let the captains of tens, the captains of 50s, the captains of hundreds, and yes, the captains of thousands now unite for the king's purpose in this hour. Let us be found faithful to serve his people, be his royal priesthood upon the earth as he foretold. If you are called to help us activate this vision, you have to be all in. We don't make anyone a captain. Either you are or you are not. We only watch and see who he chooses. Contact me at the number on your screen and leave me your contact details. I'll be in touch personally. Many are called, few are chosen. How do we know the chosen? The chosen show up. Thank you for joining us, saints. May Yahuwah Elohim bless each and every one of you. And remember, Yahushua HaMashiach, he alone is King of Kings. Amen.